January 1st, 2020. Everyone around me was talking about their New Year goals. I was just trying to survive. I was pregnant. I was living in a new country. I was dealing with morning sickness that felt like all day sickness. And everywhere I looked, people were like making vision boards and setting resolutions and planning their best year yet. And I felt so behind. It felt like everyone was at a party that I was not invited to. If you're a new mom or you're expecting and this January feels heavy, if everyone's talking about New Year goals and you're just trying to survive, this one's for you. So, 2020. I had just moved to a new country with my husband and two kids. At the time, they were 4 and almost 2 years old. We had a new home, we started a new life, and then we found out we were expecting our baby number three. Alhamdulillah. I was excited, but then I was also really struggling. So the morning sickness would just not calm down. I couldn't keep, food down most of the time. I was exhausted. I was trying so hard to adjust to living somewhere completely new. I had no family nearby. I had no friends whatsoever. And then January 1st came around, and oh my God, it was 2020, right? You know how it is at the start of the year, but then in 2020, just because it's the year 2020, before COVID, of course, it had this newness and this freshness that everyone was just so excited about. Everyone's like posting their goals and their word of the year and their plans to like eat healthier, wake up earlier, be more productive. I wanted those things as well. I wanted to have goals. I wanted to feel excited about the year ahead. I wanted to be one of those people who, like, were figuring things out. But my reality was, I was just trying to make it through the day without, like, just getting sick and, like, pulling myself along. And I remember feeling this heaviness. I remember feeling like I was failing even before the year started. It felt like everyone else was like moving forward and excited about moving forward, but I was stuck. It felt like I was missing out on something that everyone else was, just able to do. And I don't know, maybe you know that feeling when, again, everyone's at a party and you are not invited. Like when everyone's making plans and you're just trying to make it through the day. When you see other moms who seem to have it all together and you're kind of like, okay, so what's wrong with me? That's what it felt like for me. And I'm guessing if you're listening, maybe it feels like that for you too sometimes. And the worst part is that I did feel guilty, I think, for feeling that way because I wanted this child. I was grateful to be pregnant, but I also felt behind, right? And again, maybe you love your child, you love the season of life that you're in, but then you also feel lost sometimes and overwhelmed and just kind of like you're not keeping up. But here's what I did not realize at that time. The reason that it hurt so much was not really just because I couldn't set the goals or anything, but it was because I felt like I was not allowed to be where I was. It felt like the only acceptable way to exist at that time was to be ambitious, was to be like so, proper and so like forward moving and forward focused. And if you were not doing all of those things, it felt like you were just, like if you were just surviving, it felt like you were doing it wrong. But no one tells you that pregnancy and early motherhood puts you in a completely different reality. You're not on the same timeline as everyone else. Your body is doing something massive. You're growing a human being. Maybe it's that you're healing from birth. Maybe you're postpartum, feeding a baby, and there's just so much that's happening. There's just so much that's happening when you're becoming a mother, when you're in those when you are in those first few months of it. It's like, I don't know, it's like a huge complete identity shift, and your capacity is not what it used to be like before. And it's not supposed to be, the same. But the world just does not slow down for you. Everyone keeps moving, everyone keeps on setting goals, and everyone keeps expecting you to keep up, even though you can't, right? But then you start to think that it's your fault, that, maybe you're just, yeah, just not able to keep up. But then, of course, the truth is you are just in a different season. And the season that you're in, The calendar in the season that you're in does not work the same as everyone else's calendar. This season that you're in, it runs on like baby time. It runs on like your body time, right? And your body is not going to lie to you. There's nothing wrong with, feeling those things. And so here is what I wish I had known back then. What I wish someone told me on January 1st, 2020 is it's okay if you don't join the party. It's okay if you don't set New Year goals. In fact, you don't have to set New Year goals. You don't have to have your life together. You don't have to be productive and on time all the time. If you're pregnant, if you're a new mom, if you're in a season where you're just trying to survive, your only job, if you think about it, is to be right where you are. And that's enough. And that is enough. It's okay if all you can do today is keep your meals down. What a win, right? It's okay if all you can do is feed your baby today and just rest. What a win again. It's okay if you have no energy left for like vision boards and goal setting and all the things, right? You're just in a different season, and different seasons require different things. Some seasons are for like go, go, go. Some are for grow, grow, grow. Some are for rest, 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 right? So yeah, if your focus right now is on keeping baby safe, keeping yourself alive, feeding yourself, feeding your children, holding them, hugging them, showing up even when you're tired, that's not like being behind. That's everything, subhanallah. And so if this January feels heavy, if you're watching everyone else do all the things and maybe you feel like you should be doing the same, if you feel guilty for not, being excited about the season that you're in, I just want to tell you something. You don't owe anyone anything. You don't owe anyone an explanation just because it's 2026 and you're not like, I don't know, killing it. Anyone, your New Year resolutions or your word of the year, it's okay. What you owe yourself is kindness. What you owe yourself is permission. Permission to be where you are. That is so important. Permission to rest without earning it. Permission to like just not be part of the hustle culture if that's what it feels like, right? And permission to trust that the season that you're in right now, even though it's hard, will not last, inshallah, forever. One day, inshallah, you're going to look back and you're going to be like, oh, we did it. We survived, right? And inshallah, you'll see that that was enough for that season. So if you need any support navigating the season or figuring out what you need and not what everyone else is expecting from you, I'm going to share some resources in the description. There's one-on-one coaching if you want, that kind of help. I'm also working on a program for, if you're ready for this kind of support. And I'm also going to share a link to my newsletter where I write about things like this every week-ish. So yeah, whatever feels right for you, inshallah, go ahead and click on it. But even if you don't click on it, that's okay. I just want you to know that you are exactly where you need to be. And I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for listening.